Hey everybody, Lloyd here with Just Got Played, and today I'm going to be taking a look at RONE Invasion from Punchboard Games and designer Štěpán Štefaník. This is a Kickstarter that is going live on September 27th, 2022. So if you're watching this video, the campaign is probably live or is about to go live at the posting of this video. So I'm just going to take a look at the components real quick. And then I'm going to do an overview of the cooperative mode. This does have a competitive mode. I'm going to try and get to that, but I'm going to probably focus more on the cooperative mode. So let's just take a look at the components that are in here. This should be near complete since the campaign is going live, but this is a prototype. This is just going to kind of give you an idea of what to expect in the final game. Because I did take a look at it, and it does look like most of the components are pretty much in a complete, final stage, and that's what you're going to be receiving. So let's first flip it over and take a look at the back. As you can see, it's got a big storyline. Again, this is for 1 to 2 players. I believe if you get some of the add-ons, you can expand this to a 4-player game. But right out of the box, the core game is 1 to 2 players, 45 to 95 minutes. Ages 14 and up. So it gives you a list of the components here. Let's just take a look and see what we have inside this massive box. So first off, we will start just by flipping through this giant instruction manual so you kind of get an idea of what's going on. So we have an introduction again. You have all the components. And we'll take a look at these, but these little screw things here are kind of different. I've never seen these in a game, so I thought this was kind of like Dice Forge, where you would put different faces on here, but instead you're adding like these little pip screws of different colors. So you see there's a little screwdriver here. You unscrew them, which they take like a half turn, and then you put the new ones in and screw them in. So it comes with 8 of those big dice. Comes with a bunch of tokens. A bunch of cards, and then a couple player boards, and then the invasion board. So let's just take a look and see what else we've got. So over here we have the game setup. So it goes over how to set the game up. This is how the dice are going to start. So as you can see, you start mostly with these kind of neutral colored screws, and you're going to start, which I think this is in the starting configuration already. You're going to start with basically one of each color on each side, except for one. One's going to be completely blank. So let's just keep going through. Goes over the player board. Goes over how the tokens work. Goes over like card anatomy for all the different card types. Then we've got special icons and words and game text. So basically this is a glossary. So although this book does look big and intimidating, a lot of it is, going over what things are. So doesn't seem to be as many rules as I thought there'd be. It kind of goes over how the different cards work. Like I said, this is more of a glossary that's going to go over, all of the different terms in the game and what some of the symbols mean. Then we have here competitive mode setup and how to play the game. Goes over main phase actions, spare parts, advanced gameplay. And then over here, this starts the cooperative mode. So if you can see, there's not a lot of instructions really. Most of it's overview on how the game works and all the stuff. And then you basically got we're not even going to count this page. You've got 1, 2, 3 pages of how to play the game in competitive mode, and then cooperative mode, I'm going to guess is probably going to be about the same. So there's a different game setup here. Goes over the invasion board for that. So then you have the invader turn on the invasion turn, how that works. And then you have a player turn. So there's a little bit more involved with the co-op mode, basically because it's explaining how the AI works. So it's got to go over both player turns, essentially. Then over here, if you notice, this game does have a campaign mode. So you're going to do 3 consecutive scenarios, back to back. And it's got different setup for each of those. And then on the back here, it's got, a couple pages of FAQ and, like a rule summary, which is very nice. It breaks down, how the turn works. So yeah, that is the instruction manual. So let's just take a look at, let's start with these dice. So right now I just came with this little screwdriver, but as you can see, basically a half turn kind of takes it out. These are the little screws that you put in, and I imagine you're going to add these to your dice over time with different cards, so you can you're probably going to end up building dice to match your cards so that you can activate them better. That's conjecture. I've only briefly glanced through there, but I imagine that's kind of the basis for this. So here we have a ton of these screws. I'm not going to open these up and look at them all. Essentially, we can just take a look at, some of them here. But so you can see they're little plastic screws, but they don't take a lot of screwing to go in. Like I said, it's maybe a half or a 3/4 turn to get them in and out of the die. So you won't be sitting there the entire game, trying to get stuff in and out. Which I haven't tried it in practice, but I kind of think it might be an improvement of the Dice Forge. Those things are always so finicky. Whenever you're trying to pop the faces off, what a lot of people do is they take another face and they use that as kind of like a lever to pry it out. Oh no, this bag kind of ripped apart. We'll come back to the dice. So you have this here. So there's 8 dice, and these are big, chunky, hefty dice, right? They're really big. So we'll just put that aside for now. And then we've got the tokens, and I imagine these are probably pretty close to final quality you're going to get, which they are big and thick. If you notice, they're big, thick cardboard tokens. So if this is what we get in the game, no complaints. Nice quality. Let's see. I don't think these weren't listed on the components, so we're not going to talk about them. These are basically to roll the dice. They're dice trays. But we're not going to talk about those because they weren't on the component list, so I do not think they're included. Let's just take a look. This is the big invasion board. So it has, the rounds up here at the top, and then it goes over all the different spots. So you have the 5 different color cards, and it gives you kind of instructions on where everything goes and what they do. So that is very nice. Again, this is pretty thick cardboard. It's got like a board game, like a game board backing. It's not just cardboard. It's got this kind of material on the back so it's not just cardboard, like what's on the back of most game boards. And then over here we've got 2. Oh, I didn't notice. I don't know if this one. So this board here is recessed for all these little spots along here. I don't know. This one's not recessed, so I don't know if that's going to get recessed. I would imagine it would be, but again, this is kind of the prototype components. But like I said, this is more like a pre-production sample. So this is probably close to done. So I'm just curious about that. It might be recessed. I'm not 100% sure. So these are the player boards. Again, you get 2 of them. Again, they have that nice back on them. So let's go ahead and get into some of the cards, because I believe, again, these are pretty much done. So you can get a feel for the artwork that's in there. Are these all the same card types? They are not. So we've got some green back ones. We've got some yellows. We've got a ton of these redback ones. I think that's the most. Yep. So let's just take a look at what these different card types are. So these are the leader cards. So these are the different leaders. So we can just take a look. So we have Passo. When your opponent reinforces their deck, refresh all cards in your base. Marta Holtz. Anato Vorosov. Okay, so the top power is the same on all of them. Their bottom power is what's different. So basically they have kind of like a tap ability, and this is gain 2 screws. Discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Owen Wasseg, gain 2 yellow. Oh, so those are black screws, and then these are yellow screws, I think. Then you've got gain 2 blues or gain 1 green. Put the top card of your opponent deck into their garbage dump. Store 1 resource of your choice, and this one is recycle 2 cards and destroy 1 stored resource of an opponent. So those are the leader cards. These here are the protocol cards. All right, so we just take a look. Trojan distribution, bandwidth extension, firewall extension, DOS attack, eavesdropping attack, terminated notification, data clustering. So yeah, there you go. You get an idea of these. So these are all like computer-based cards, right? And then these here are invasion cards. So I'm looking at the backs. I'm assuming that these probably go with the these two probably go with the co-op mode, but I'm not 100% sure. But these are the invasion cards: defensive drone, plasma shield, Hans. Maybe look, they have little stats down here at the bottom. They have, I assume this up at the top is the cost. But once we get into the game overview, we'll dive more into that. I just kind of want to look at the art so you get kind of an idea of what you're seeing, what you're going to be getting. And the art is really cool in this. So you see, it's not all 100% unique cards. There are some duplicates in here. Yeah, this is all like really cool, like futuristic apocalypse type art. There's some alien stuff kind of mixed in. Yeah, this all looks really cool. I definitely dig the art style on this. So those are the invasion cards. And this bag over here that unfortunately ripped apart. So these are probably, there's some technology cards in here. Let's pull those out first. All right. So technology cards. So again, we'll just take a look at the art. And then once we kind of get into the gameplay and overview, we'll go ahead and go over more of what this stuff does and what it means and how the game plays. But yeah, definitely a really cool art style. I definitely like it. So those were the technology cards. And then here, let's just grab a stack of these. These are the playing cards. Scrap Lord. Frenzy, Scorch, Corrosion. So there, yeah, you kind of get an idea of what the artwork is and the kind of the feel and theme of the game. But again, this is all really cool art. The card quality, again, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is probably close to final. It's pretty good. Not too flimsy. It also doesn't have, it's just kind of a standard card. It doesn't have any type of like super finish on it, which looks cool on some games, but a lot of games, if they overdo it, it really makes it hard to even tell what's going on when the light hits it. So yeah, this is RONE Invasion. Let's go ahead and throw everything back in the box for now. Fortunately, that's probably going to just come right out. Although it was in there fairly well when I opened the box. So maybe it'll stay. Who knows? We'll just throw it down there in the corner. So yeah, again, this is going to be launching on Kickstarter on September 27th. So again, when this video goes live, it will have already launched, or it will be launching within hours, I would imagine. Yeah, if you notice, you have a ton of these little plastic screws. They come in 5 different colors. You just have a ton of those. Again, I don't think these are included in the game. And if you notice in the book, those are just regular screwdrivers, but they're going to come with these. And I imagine they're probably not going to be metal, but maybe they will be. I don't know. I would think they'd probably be some kind of like plastic, but they might go with metal. Who knows? Yeah, this is RONE Invasion. It'll be launching on Kickstarter September 27th, 2022. So if you like what you've seen just off of the components and the artwork and the really cool mechanic of these mechanism of these dice with the different, faces that you screw in. If you think that's something that's up your alley, stay tuned, because we are going to do I am going to do for sure a cooperative review, and I'll try to get a playthrough down if possible, and try to get this all up while while the RONE Invasion Kickstarter is live and active. But I'm going to try and get this out before the Kickstarter launches, so you can take a look at it and be there on day one to help support Punchboard Games and Štěpán Štefaník. And yeah, as always, like, share, subscribe, comment. Have you played the previous RONE games? Now, this does not require any of the other games that he's put out, but I think it's just set in the same universe. So let me know if you played any of those. Check the description for links to all of our social media accounts, and we'll go ahead and throw a link to the Kickstarter page in there as well. And as always, happy gaming.